Welcome back, grade 4. Today in science, we are going to be continuing with our study of the human eye. As a review, from the moment we open our eyes in the morning, they are constantly at work. They take in information about the world around us and constantly send messages to the brain to be processed. Here are the vocabulary words about the different parts of the eye that we are going to be going over today, and we ask the students to write these into their notebook. Here's a diagram of exactly what the eye looks like from a side view, and it shows labeled all of the different areas of the eye that we will be covering. Eyelids are about the size of a ping pong ball and sit in the eye sockets of our skulls. Our eyelids cover the front part of our eyes. Their job is to keep the eye clean and moist by blinking several times a minute. The eyelashes on our eyelids also help to keep dust and dirt from getting in our eyes. The lid helps keep the eye clean and moist by opening and shutting several times a minute. This is called blinking and is both a voluntary and an involuntary action, meaning you can blink whenever you want to. The eyelids also have great reflexes, which are automatic body responses that protect the eye. When you step into bright light, for example, the eyelids squeeze together tightly to protect your eyes until they can adjust to the light. Don't forget the eyelashes. They work with the eyelids to keep dirt and other unwanted stuff out of your eye. The sclera is the white part of the eye, and it provides a protective coating. It's made of a tough material and has the important job of covering most of the eyeball. Think of the sclera as your eyeball's outer coat. Look very closely at the white of the eye and you'll see lines that look like tiny pink threads. Those are blood vessels, the tiny tubes that deliver blood to the sclera. The iris is the colorful part of the eye. Behind the cornea are the irises, the pupil, and the anterior chamber. When we say a person has blue eyes, we really mean the person has blue irises. The iris has muscles attached to it that change its shape. This allows the iris to control how much light goes through the pupil. The cornea is the clear dome that sits in front of the iris. It sits in front of the colored part of the eye. The cornea helps the eye focus as light makes its way through. It's a very important part of the eye, but you can hardly see it because it's made of clear tissue. Like clear glass, the cornea gives your eye a clear window to view the world through. The pupil looks like a black circle in the center of the eye, but it's really an opening in the iris that lets light enter. It's a black circle in the center of the iris, which is really an opening. You can see how this works. Use a small flashlight to see how your eyes or a friend's eyes responds to changes in brightness. The pupils will get smaller when the light shines near them, and they'll open wider when the light is gone. The lens and ciliary muscle. After light enters the pupil, it hits the lens. The lens is held in place by the ciliary muscle. The lens has the job of focusing light into the retina at the back of the eye. The lens also changes the direction of the light as it comes in, which causes the image to be upside down on the retina. The retina is in the very back of the eye and takes the light the eye receives and changes it into nerve signals. It contains photoreceptors. The photoreceptors are sensors that change light into electrical signals to send to the brain. There are two types of photoreceptors. They're called rods and cones. The optical nerve carries the message from the eye to the brain. Think of the optic nerve as the great messenger in the back of your eye. The rods and cones of the retina change the colors and shapes you see into a million nerve messages. Then, the optic nerve carries those messages from the eye to the brain. The optic nerve serves as a high-speed telephone line connecting the eye to the brain. When you see an image, your eye telephones your brain with a report on what you are seeing, so the brain can translate that report into cat, apple, or bicycle, or whatever the case may be. And that is the end of the science lesson for today. You can use this information to answer your Google Forms a little bit later, and we'll be back with you again real soon.